Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the Fly With Us podcast. This podcast is bringing the art of conversation, self-love, self-care, mental health care and protection, life lessons, love lessons, and everything in between. Today, we're going to talk about the double standard of sexuality. I'm Lady Bounce.
I'm Kryptonite, y'all. Okay, so I'm doing this mindfulness moment here. So here we go. Let's jump right into it. Okay, this is called Beyond Hero Worship. I am grateful to those who provide me an example to follow, but I understand that I must finally follow my own course. I venerate the saints and sages, but I internalize their lessons and make them my own. I bow to the true teachers, but I stand on my own 2 feet. If we set some standard against which to judge others, the initial efforts will be pretty frustrating. The conditions that enable the model or hero to succeed may not exist anymore. The pre-Socratic philosopher, I'm going to try this, y'all. Heraclitus, said, you can't step into the same river twice. Everything is subject to flux and change. So what worked yesterday may not work today. If we put ourselves into the rigid model of hero worship, it may work for a time until progress suddenly grinds to a halt. In order to get unstuck, we must jettison the model and forge a new path, which was really the goal in the first place. One of the yogic realizations is knowing which practices are appropriate to your own time and situation. Reflect for a few minutes on your own spiritual practice. Allow more room in your life for that which works for you. Abandon that which does not work for you. You need not be hasty or rash. Allow the wisdom and insight to come on in its own accord. Okay, so now what does that have to do with today's topic? Well, with this, what? Okay, so with this video, we have this video WAP. Everybody is having an opinion on the Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion situation. You're either for it or you're against it, and they're teaching children that blah 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 blah. Okay. So here's personally my take on the situation. So I've seen where a couple of people have had some things to say. I've seen the negative comments. I've seen the positive comments. I'm kind of indifferent to it. Great video, nice graphics. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's tight. We're all fit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was on time with the choreography. Everybody was doing the right move at the right moment. You know what I'm saying? Lyrics suck. I'm as far as lyrically speaking, I'm not a fan of either woman. But I gotta say, I love Cardi B. I ain't gonna lie. But I love Cardi B for what she does outside of music. Her music. But don't get it twisted. I will bop a Cardi B song. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Especially that one she got with City Girls. With, how I go?
I don't know.
I don't remember. But the one she got with City Girls, that's my shit. I be on the dance floor with that one. And she got a couple other ones. She got a couple other ones that I will listen to. You know what I'm saying? That I like. She got some boppers, some club boppers, whatever. But as far as I'm not walking around listening to Cardi B. I don't have a Cardi B track in my car. You know what I'm saying? I'm not listening to her on my downtime like that. But don't get it twisted. Hey, great workout songs. Like for real, them some bangers. The bass be bumping and but I personally do like something that has some type of content to the lyrics. And there's none there, not with her or Meg Thee Stallion. I don't find either of them lyrically sound individuals. I don't find them lyrically gifted.
Well, I gotta say, I only watched the video for frame of reference purposes, because my whole timeline was talking about it. They were talking about it on CNN. It was all over Instagram.
And this wait, wait. CNN decided they needed to have a commentary on a hip hop video starring Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion. Now,
yes,
Cardi B,
because there was a congressman who said he accidentally watched the video, and he's currently running. And part of his platform that he's running on is that he is this God-fearing, super Christian man. So he's running on.
Still doing that? They're still picking on hip hop, or they're still picking on rap artists to further their political careers. Well, you know,
he wasn't picking on them. He ended up picking on them in his second comment, but he said he accidentally watched the video. So you
didn't.
Accidentally stumbled upon this very
hold on.
video.
What congressman is accidentally cruising YouTube hip hop videos? You know, who's accidentally doing that? What?
I mean, I thought it was weird.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what, because anybody that believes that, I have got a bridge right here down the street on Little York that crosses over this like street that with a whole bunch of busy ass cars. I'm gonna sell it to you. Well, listen, my point is this. Look, Cardi B knows she done made it in the world. This having done been a political commentator for the hood. She done talked to Joe Biden.
Right.
Now they coming after. She got politicians coming after her for the lyrical content of her songs. You know, Cardi B done made it. I don't care what nobody say. Look, that's why I fuck with Cardi B. Hey, look, her rapping may suck. She may not be able to rap a present, but
not rap a present.
I'm just saying, but what she does outside of her music, I ain't mad at her. Go ahead, Cardi B. That's what I'm talking about. She got that Tupac NWA recognition jumping off right now. she done did some things. When you got politicians on your ass, you done made it, bitch. You done made it.
So as a result of him, making his tweet and saying that, he accidentally watched this whole 4-minute
entire video. Look, right. You didn't just see it and be like, ooh, wrong video. No.
Right. You watched the whole thing.
What is it? Is that tissing ass? Who's tissing ass is that?
So as a result, it opened up a whole debate on CNN, and they had all of their
wow, that is hilarious. I have got to look that up. That's got to be hilarious. That has got to be some funny shit. Now talk about a distraction. All the shit going on in the world right now, and CNN chooses to talk about motherfucking Cardi B's latest video.
Well,
you
Cardi
mean to
B
tell me really? This
she
what we
is
doing?
Poisoning the minds of our youth, and therefore it has to be addressed on a global scale.
Is that what's going on? All right. Well, okay. Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about the poison.
Right. So let's get into the obvious point that everybody's making. Male rappers talk about, sex and the size of their manhood and the number of women that they sleep with or have slept with. Why is it okay for them to do it? But then when a female rapper does it, now we're all up in arms, and now we got this whole problem that they've decided to make a song talking about, how good their sex is. But men do it, and men have done it.
Well, understand, before men did it, before it was accepted by men, it was a problem. Let's not forget what happened with 2 Live Crew.
Right.
They was the politicians was coming after 2 Live Crew, talking about their First Amendment right, that they was trying to censor their whole album and not let them put nothing out there. Ice-T, NWA, all them fuck the police songs, and we ain't fucking with the police songs, trying to censor all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? All the gangster rap, they tried to censor all of that. you know. But when it didn't go down like that, you know, as things do, it died down, it came to an end, and then people freely rapped about whatever the fuck they wanted to rap about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now, what we have now is we have Cardi B from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't trying to be funny or nothing or make it fun, but hey, I think that's some sexy shit right there. I always want to talk like I was from New York, so I'm trying it now. Anyway, but Cardi B from the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? She talked to the people, you know what I'm saying? She's talking to people's language. She from where they from. She live where they live, and the shit she say, I don't care how much English she can't speak. The shit she say makes sense. You know what I'm saying? She makes sense when she talking. You probably can't understand half the stuff she say, but believe me, somebody in the Bronx know exactly what she talking about. You feel me? Somebody in her crew, in her clique, in her hood know just what she's saying, regardless of whether or not me or you or anybody else the rest of the world don't. And that's why I love Cardi. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care about the music. I like what she do off the camera, because I can rock with her. Me and her can go have a drink and kick it. You feel me? I can kick it with Cardi. You know what I'm saying? When she start dancing and shit, I might be out. But, you know.
She said you might be out.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just because I can't work a pole yet. But that's all right. You give me time.
So as a mother, you know, of a young lady.
Oh, as a mother, that shit is cringeworthy.
Okay, so
makes you cringe. You be cringing like. But as also though, it's also the empowerment of the female. You know what I'm saying? And then there's another thing too. You know how men always do something, and then women always come right behind them doing the same thing. We always do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for some of the men that's talking all that mess, y'all be leading the way. You know what I'm saying? Y'all paved the way. You know?
Now, forgive me for my prudishness or my old-fashioned thought, but just because they do it, does that mean we should? Like, where's that line between a man is supposed to be gross and vulgar and, you know, burp and fart? But
who says that? Who said a man is supposed to do that? And why are we supposed to be on so much? Because, man, listen, that's a man's talk that you talking right there. That's that BS. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be on this pedestal where we supposed to not do this and not do that. Well, sometimes we get tired of looking at the other motherfucker having fun. Sometimes we want to get down there and we want to do things. We want to do what we want to do when we want to do it too. We don't want to be told when to come up and down up off that pedestal. We can come off that pedestal when you feel like taking us off of there. We can come do something when you feel like taking us to go do something. When you feel like being seen with us. Other than that, while we sitting at home making your home a happy home and making your home life happy, you out kicking it with these chicks that you talk bad about. With these chicks that you talking about you don't want to be seen with, or you don't want your woman to be like, or you don't want your children to be like. But strippers ain't stripping for nothing. Strippers ain't out there making Bitcoin. They making real dollars.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? They booking gigs for $10,000 a night, $20,000. They're making bank. Why do you think so many people are stripping their way through college? Come on, man. Meg Thee Stallion talk about it. Meg be on her. I'm saying he paying my tuition. You know what I'm saying? I'm shaking my ass. He paying my tuition. Come on, man.
So
how bad? So think about that. How bad is it? On the one hand, yes, she's saying use what you got to get what you want so you can get what you need. You feel what I'm saying? Use what you got to get him to pay for your degree so you can get what you need on your own when you get there.
I mean, I get that. But then what happens to the whole, just because you can doesn't mean you should?
No, that's just a personal choice. Flat out. It's just a personal choice, period. We raise our children. We want our children to be these independent thinkers, these independent women. Most of us became independent not by choice, but because it's what we had to do. I would love to not be independent. I would love to not have to pay my own bills. It would be awesome.
I mean, I guess in some ways, you know, I'm thinking about like, you know, thinking about like stuff that grandma would say to me, you know, don't wear pants with belt loops if you're not gonna wear a belt. If you wear a dress, you need to have on a slip. Wear your stockings. You know, I don't wear them, but I remember a time where it was unheard of where a woman went to church and didn't have a hat on.
But think about it though. What you just saying, I don't wear them, but your grandma taught you should wear them. But this ain't your grandma's life now, is it? This ain't your grandma's era. Just
no,
like
it's
this
not. But should we just throw away grandma's teachings because we're in a new era?
But what, are we really throwing away grandma's teachings? Because think about it, half of these people, some of them didn't have a grandma or a mama or auntie or any of that. Because why? Because of crack. Let's get into it. Now, let's really talk about some stuff. These people knew exactly what they was doing when they was doing it. They sit up here, they put crack in our neighborhood. Who was on that stuff? The people that was on crack was the people that was supposed to be teaching us not to be shaking our ass for profit. And these was the people going out selling their asses for rocks. I mean, do you see what I'm saying?
No, I totally see the pattern, but at some point, when you know better,
there's a whole generation lost. There's a whole generation lost because of what crack did to our community. We can't expect for people to know something that they were never taught. We can't expect for a child who grew up pretty much at the age of 10 or 11 having to take care of themselves or having to take care of some siblings. We can't expect them to know certain things when they had to live a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't know somebody else's struggle. We don't know what somebody else has been through. There's that, okay? So, but then there's another part too. It's also like what Cardi said. She said when she made her song, Be Careful With Me, people would, which is a song that I liked. I liked Be Careful With Me.
I like that
song. I thought it was a good song. And like she said, people was telling her, I wasn't expecting that. What is this? Blah, blah, blah. When she made the attempt to rap about something that was meaningful, you know what I'm saying? It to nobody else but to her. But it was a significant song for a lot of women. That was a good song. But like she said, they wasn't receptive to that. They didn't want to hear that. They wanted her to do exactly what she's doing right now. She a money maker. She an entertainer. This is what she signed up for. So if the issue is that this is what you want to hear me rap about and I'm trying to make money, well, guess what I'm gonna rap about? This is what you want. I'm in the business to make loot. You know what I'm saying? The money that what I do with the money outside of this entertainment industry is something different. You know what I'm saying? That's my business or whatever. But right now, if that's what you want to hear so I can get my ends, well, come on in, let's go.
Okay. So while you said that, let me read to you this quote that Cardi B said, because she actually, you know, every now and again she says something that's really smart, and I'm like,
a lot of times she says, so look, people be trying to play Cardi. She ain't that box of rocks that people be thinking she is. She just can't talk.
Yeah, I don't think that she's dumb, but I don't think she.
Yeah, she just have good English. That's all.
So this is what she said. She said, there's a lot of female rappers that be rapping their ass off and don't be talking about they pussy. And don't be talking about getting down and dirty. And y'all don't support them. And they be mad dope. Bloggers don't support them. They don't be getting the recognition. So don't blame that shit on us when y'all not the ones supporting them. And I have to say that there's a lot of truth to that, because
there ain't no that's all true. That's flat out true. And listen, while we're talking about that, because when you really think about it, the push as far as the music that gets played on the radio and the music that is really out there for the public to hear on a regular basis, that's on continuous radio play, that stuff don't get chosen. That stuff gets chosen by the record industry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Record producers and record industry choose what they want to push, when they want to push it, and how hard they want to push it. Just like she said, there's artists out there that like Rhapsody. She's a good artist. She been out there for a minute. She like a roundaway girl type, you know what I'm saying? She like old school roundaway girl hip hop rapper. You don't hear much about her at all. But she ain't talking about shaking asses. She wearing full outfits. You're not seeing no skin dealing with her. You know what I'm saying? So she's not what the record industry is going to push, because she's not talking about the destruction of a community, you know what I'm saying? The destruction of your self-esteem, your body, however you want to say, low moral standards or whatever you want to call it. This other way of feminine thinking when it comes, and notice only when it comes to brown and black bodies. Because yes, their children listen to it too, but that's not who's on the screen. So, you know what I'm saying? The real damage is caused to the Black and Latino communities, right?
Right.
So Crazy Bone, about 7 months ago, he has a podcast called I believe it's Seek the Truth podcast or the Truth podcast, something to that effect. And hold on, let me see if I can find it so I can at least tell you the correct podcast to look at.
Ain't it called Truth Tellers or something?
There it is, yeah.
Truth Tellers.
There it is. So he's got that Truth Tellers. He made this podcast about 7 months ago where he talks about a meeting that took place. And in this meeting, they had these record producers, these record industry bigwigs sitting down, and they were saying, well, look, right now you got a choice. You need to sign this disclosure that says you're not going to talk about anything that you hear in this room today. Now, if you don't want to sign it, you should leave now. So some people got up and they left. They didn't want no parts of it. Some of the people that was curious, they stayed back. And basically what they were saying is, we're going to push this specific type of music. The music where we are talking about guns and violence against women, and we're only going to push it from Black artists to Black kids. Because we're trying to fill up these prisons and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Right. We're trying to keep the prisons filled. If we give these people the subliminal, what's the word for it?
Subliminal messages.
The subliminal message.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, the subliminal programming of they gotta rob, they gotta steal, they gotta sell dope in order to make it in this world. They gotta be a rapper, they gotta be an athlete. Nothing that inspires them to use their mind and creativity towards other avenues, such as being a doctor, being a lawyer, being an electrician. You know what I'm saying? Any of that stuff. And he said that they was like, man, what? He said there was 4 people, including himself, that couldn't believe what they were hearing, and they gasped, and they were like, man, you can't be serious. Like, man, what are you talking about? And it wasn't even a question of whether or not they were going to stay. They were immediately escorted out of the room, and they were reminded, you signed a waiver. If you say anything about what you heard in this room today, you liable for damages, and you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a problem. So those people who gasped and that were concerned and couldn't believe what they were hearing were escorted out. They have no further information as far as how things went down. But what they do know is that they saw how things went down, and what they were seeing was exactly what they was discussing in that room, where people like Young Thug and because I just can't stand that child, man. I swear to goodness. It just sounds like that man got hot caramels dripping off his canines. I don't even understand what's going on with that child. And then I don't understand his styling concept, and machine guns and wedding gowns. I understand this ain't my era, this ain't my time, but what the hell era time is that though? Come on, who's doing that? What's that?
Some would argue that him wearing the dresses is them trying to push the homosexual agenda. So to further manipulate the men in our community by making it seem like it's okay to wear a dress. Oh, it ain't no big deal. Put this dress on.
But I totally agree with what you're saying, which is why it begs to lend some belief to what the report that Crazy Bone was talking about, as far as the information he got about what the record industry is doing as far as promoting these bad rappers, quite honestly, to brainwash our children and have our children messed up and doing stupid stuff and not thinking clearly and ending up in the prison system, which of course, you know, these states have to keep these prisons filled to like 90% capacity, or they have to pay these private prisons when they don't have enough people in them. Right. So if you know what I'm saying? So that's just one way of getting these kids messed up in the mind so that they go off and do goofy stuff. If they listening to crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying, then 9 times out of 10, they're not going to put much thought into many of the actions or many of the activities that they partake in on a regular basis.
So
and then it's the same thing with the women. They doing the same thing about spreading yourself thin, sharing your body, and doing all that. They doing the same thing.
Yeah, because to me, when I listen to it, a lot of it is it promotes prostitution, in the sense that in Cardi B's first song, she said, I let him get what he want. He buy me Yves Saint Laurent. I was like, that sounds like prostitution. That doesn't sound like empowerment to me. To me, empowering and owning my sexuality and owning my body means I can give it to whomever I please, whenever I please, but there's no payment exchangement there, because this is
the problem.
Exchange, it makes it prostitution.
But this is the problem. Most people equate empowerment to money. Most people equate power and money, because let's face it, without money you have no power. You know what I'm saying? So most people equate money and power as being the same thing. We know what it means to be able to be empowered or be self-empowered, and to say, I'm choosing not to give it to you, despite what your pockets look like. I'm choosing to keep it to myself because I just don't like it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And and I think that's where that's where you have to draw the line between your empowerment and prostitution. Because prostitution, it don't matter if you like them or not, as long as he got them ends and he's spending them, you giving it up. Empowerment, if whether I like you or not, if I don't like you, regardless of what your pocket look like, I'm not giving you anything. Spend what you want to whenever, I don't care. And I think that's kind of like that's a lot of what like City Girls and Meg the Stallion really be. And then some Cardi B songs, she might, say a little line about not giving up nothing without no money, you know what I'm saying? But that's what empowerment is to a lot of people now. But you gotta understand too, that when men were talking about empowerment, they were talking about cars, and they were talking about jewelry, and they were talking about how fat their pockets are. So when they had all of that stuff, they had all the girls because they saw all of that. You see what I'm saying? Right. So that hasn't changed at all. The problem is how we view empowerment, what we equate empowerment to it. You know what I'm saying? What we think power is.
So before we wrap this up, because we're almost out of time.
Dang, are we wrapping it up already? That seems rather short.
I know, right?
It gets shorter and shorter every trip. I need my therapy.
So because we like to be solution oriented.
Oh, is it my turn again?
What can we do though? No, I mean, before you do the self-care assignment, what do we do? Like we can't combat what they do on the radio. So in our lives, or the people, for our viewers, our listeners, what can we do to kind of balance out the Cardi B's versus the Rhapsodies of
the question is, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Because quite honestly, you know what I'm saying? It's all about your preference. It's all about what you're choosing. If you choose to listen to some Cardi B lyrics and listen to that song, I mean, you are well within your right to do so. You know what I'm saying? If your issue is that you tired of the Cardi B song, those types of songs, then you need to start researching and finding somebody that's more to your liking, more to your taste. You know what I'm saying? Find Rhapsody. Find out who she is. You can get on YouTube and look up anything.
Right.
YouTube, you will find stuff out on YouTube you didn't know you wanted to know.
Right.
I mean, YouTube got everything. Look, all you got to do is look up. Look, before we got on here, I looked up underground female rappers. You know how many videos they got about underground female rappers that's fire?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like there's 17 in one group, 15 in another group, 10 in another. You know what I'm saying? And not many of them got the same person in there twice.
Right.
So the thing is, it's all about your preference. It's all about are you tired? Are you sick of it? If you're not sick of it, you're gonna keep listening to it. But if you're tired of it, forget the debate. What's the point of the debate? Don't debate, because it's still gonna be out there. You just being distracted. Go find you some music to listen to. Something you like.
I like it.
I mean, what choice you got?
Hey, I say it all the time. Like, me and Jay have the conversation all the time about, the record company puts out what people buy, but people can only buy what the record company puts out.
But that's not really true. The record company puts out what they want you to buy. Period.
Right. And
that's flat out. That's the truth.
Right, but it becomes a cycle because I can only buy what the record company puts out. The record company puts out what they want me to buy. So
but you don't have to partake in that. If that's not what you want to listen to, don't buy it. If you really want to see some type of change, then why would you continue to support something that you don't like? So you can't say, well, I'm buying it because it's the only thing to buy.
Right.
It's really not. You know what I'm saying? There's too many different avenues that you can go through where you can find something different. You don't have to buy that. You know what I'm saying? They throw it in our face. They put it in rotation. They make you listen to the song. But that don't mean they make it to where you hear it, but you don't have to listen to it. Turn it off. Don't listen to it.
And I typically do. So go ahead and hit us with our self-care assignment for this week.
All right. I got you. I even got it pulled up. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. Okay, I got it. Okay. Hey, this hits right on the nose of what I just said, right?
Right.
It says, only worry about things you can change. So now here we go. Few things erode your mental well-being faster than worrying, especially about things you can't change. Some things are obviously out of your control, like world events and the weather, but there are many less obvious circumstances you can't change, including what others do. Many work challenges, some economic circumstances, even personality traits you were born with. Devote your mental energy to the things you can change, and your problems will seem less manageable. More manageable. I said that wrong. Devote your mental energy to the things you can change, and your problems will seem more manageable. And instead of worrying on your own, talk things over with a friend or ask others for help.
I like it.
So anyone who doesn't like the WAP video, if you're feeling offended or you feeling like the hoes is in that house and you don't want to go over their house and you sick of they had listening, then just find something else to listen to. Just don't listen to it. Don't support it if that's how you feel, and start promoting those rappers that you feel are have worthy lyrical content. Put them on your Facebook page. Put them in people's emails. Send them out through Messenger. You know what I'm saying? Bang them in your car. Go find them. Stream them. Make them rich.
I tried to. We saw Rhapsody in concert last year, and it was.
That's what's up. I would like to see her. I think she's a dope lyricist. And I found this chick. I was trying to find her video. I don't remember what her name is, but I swear to God, she's like a reincarnated Missy Elliott.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what her name is. I think I sent you the video, but she is dope. I just don't remember. I mean, she damn near looked like her old school when Missy first came out, and she was, you know what I'm saying, with the garbage bag.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of her name.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I saw her Tiny Desk concert. Yeah, she's dope.
Okay, yeah, man, I'm telling you. Yeah.
I forgot. All right, let me hit this brain science right quick. So we talked about sex and sexuality, but there's a difference in the genders and how we think about sex and how we see sex. So it is apparent, sometimes painfully so, that men and women perceive the world differently. They process information differently, and they have different emotional responses to the same stimuli. Part of the reason for this is the difference in the male brain and the female brain. So men prefer the scent and the appearance of a woman over other men, which is the start of the male desire initiating sexual behavior. If the sexually dimorphic nucleus is damaged, this sexual preference for females by men is greatly reduced. Researchers have also found an association between sexual orientation in males and part of the hypothalamus called sepharasmic nucleus And in homosexual men, it is larger than in heterosexual men. I know, I like chop that word all up, but we'll put it on.
But no, that's okay. That's interesting right there. Now that's interesting. Okay.
So this part of the male sexual brain is nearly 2 times larger in heterosexual men than in homosexual men and heterosexual women. So, using what we know about this brain science, sexual behaviors do not originate in the genitals or other erogenous parts.
Like people be thinking, and people be like, you can't be born like that. But this, what you just said proves that you can.
Exactly. So the signals that lead to arousal start there, but their destination is in the brain. The male and female brains have small but critical differences in structure and function, which determine our individual sexuality, what we are attracted to, and what we like when it comes to sexual pleasure. So basically, there can be the duality and also the double standard of men and how they think and see and perceive sex versus how women think and perceive sex. And quite honestly, we're not supposed to see it the same. That's what makes a couple. If you both think the same all the time, then what is the purpose of having a mate? I don't want my mate to think exactly like me. I like the funness and the unpredictableness of having another person to bounce off of. I don't want to just be...
What does that have to do with sexuality? What does that have to do with...
Because, well, I mean, I kind of like cut it short, but like it goes on to talk about, the rate of sex, or like how much sex men crave versus how much sex women crave. And there really isn't a difference to that, like we've been told. Like, we have this thought process in our head that men are sex hounds and that's all they think about is sex. Well, women are the same when it comes to how they think about sex.
Yes, we are.
Right. So I just think there's room for the sexual empowerment of women. There's room for the sexual prowess of men. But with that being said, I don't always think that we have to think and say what men do.
We don't have to, and we don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has their place, and they, you know what I'm saying, and they do their thing. And the fact of the matter is that it's a man's world, so a man wanted his way. You know what I'm saying? Period. But the thing is, he want both. He don't just want the sweet docile chick. He also want the Cardi B's and the Meg Thee Stallions. You know what I'm saying? He want them too. Cause let's not forget, Cardi married to the motherfucker.
Right.
Ain't no ring on this finger. I ain't showed nobody nothing. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? It can't be all bad. She booed up. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's all about your preference. It's all about what all of this. Put this example for your mama is your example. Your grandmama is your example. If you're looking outside of your home for examples of how to be grown, then the people in your life have failed you. Period. The people in your life have failed you. You don't spend enough time with the Cardi B's and the Meg Stallions of the world to idolize them and be just like them. No, they haven't made that much. They should not have that type of impact on your life, other than to make you get up and shake your ass every once in a while.
I like it. So if you don't have, your grandma or your mom around to be an influence for you in your life of positivity of Black women, you can follow us, and we do our best to provide that positivity.
No.
Yes, we do.
I'm not perfect like that. No. Look,
nobody said we had to be perfect. I said we provide an example. There are multiple examples.
Hey, look. I got one. I did good with that one. Don't be using me as no surrogate. Especially if you're grown, right? Okay. I ain't got nothing for you but advice and Tic Tacs.
Well, with your advice and your Tic Tacs, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you get your favorite podcast. You can always email us at flywithusla@gmail.com. I'm Lady Bounce.
I'm Kryptonite, y'all.
And we out of here.
All right.